to the Four Grounding Roots. Four voices, one journey, rooted in love and guided by connection. Here we come together to explore cultural challenges, honor our differences, and uncover the beauty in unity. Join us as we dive into conversations about mindset, energy, relationships, feminine and masculine energy, inherited traumas, and so much more. Together, we'll bridge gaps, share stories, and find the common ground that connects us all.
Hello, everyone. Hi. My name is Shruti Lakhotia. I am from India. Culturally, I am a Rajasthani, a Hindu. And the reason I became a coach is because since I was, I think, very young at the age of 14, 15, I always wanted to be of service. I remember as a child, I used to run around to help people in the house, my friends, my family. And I always had this ache to want to help others. And My core as a coach was to become a relationship and intimacy coach. And I realized it while I was doing the coaching, while I was learning how to be a coach, is when I realized the reason I took that as my core is because I have suffered the most in that. And it comes from a very personal relationship space where I have had patterns, I have made mistakes, I have had the best and the worst times. Um, and at the age of 43, what happens is you've really experienced life. You've been there, done that, been in a marriage, divorced, in long-term relationships, short ones. Yeah, so that is the reason I had done that. And from my own learnings, I have wanted to understand how to help people with self-love and self-worth, right? And the vision for my podcast is now, as an Indian, especially from Rajasthan, our culture is very colorful and it's very profound. It's very deeply rooted. But me being born and raised in a big city like Mumbai, we've lost it somewhere, and I remember when my parents and our whole family used to come together and celebrate these festivals and have these beautiful events in our house. We used to enjoy it, but it was very momentary, and then we used to forget about it. And we didn't know half of the reason why we're celebrating the festivals that we are celebrating. So I want to bring back culture, of Hinduism. I want to break old traditions. I want to break myths.
Just one question, Shruts.
Yes, of course.
What is that red dot you have in your forehead?
Oh, this.
Yes.
Oh, so this is a bindi. In Sanskrit, it means particle. Bindi, okay, so today Indian women wear a bindi as an accessory. It's a part of the costume, the Indian costume that Indians wear. But the real truth about the bindi is that women, I'm sure we all girls know because we work on energy so much, right? This is our third eye chakra, right? And women, compared to men, have higher instincts and more concentration. So in olden days, women were given this bindi to be put right here on their third eye chakra to protect their energy.
Wow.
So is it fine if I wear a bindi right now?
I'll send you one, my love. I'll send it to all of you all. Yeah.
Amazing.
And the second reason is it used to be a symbol of being married. So if there was a widow was not allowed to wear a bindi at that time. This is way thousands of years ago when it had started. So see, these are the kind of myths, and these are the kind of truths about our culture that I want to talk about. Is why I'm here to unlearn and learn, and know the hard facts. So yeah, that's my journey.
You say that, Shruti, and I love that. I feel like I was always so afraid of asking, a woman wearing that, like what it was, because I didn't want to offend. So I feel like even coming out from a space of just learning and asking what it is, I think is really important, because I feel like I want to learn your culture. Like I want to know, and coming from a place of love and understanding. And Cindy, I know you said this before, babe, like people know, but they don't understand. And that
Yeah,
really
Mm-hmm.
hit home for me.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and this
I
is a
know.
safe space as well that we can. There is nothing we cannot ask each other.
Mm.
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, that's why I'm here. And that is me, Shruti.
Thank you, Shruti, my love.
Thank you guys.
Okay.
Thank you, Shruti. We love that. And we're
We
looking forward to
love it.
learn.
I
So
love it.
excited.
Yeah.
So
My
Chris,
goodness.
Okay, so I'll go next. Olá a todos. I'm Cristina Pereira. I'm Portuguese. I was born in Lisbon and partially raised in the north of Portugal. As Portuguese, we are a Latin culture. We are resilient. We are very social. This is one of the main pillars of our living. We are quite positive and we are very welcoming.
oh,
What I can say more about Portugal, there is a huge foundation on our culture, which is the Portuguese discovery era, and as well Christianism. If you can imagine, 90% of our population has Catholic influences, so this is really a huge layer on our culture. And also,
wow.
we have a very strong bond with Brazil, which is our brother country. We speak the same language.
Mm. Ooh.
Yeah, and along my journey, I have nurtured very special caring for Brazil as well. Why I became a coach, all of you know, but I will also share again with the world. So I have faced. I'm 20 years in corporate finance, so corporate is a big container, but I have faced 7 years of recurrent miscarriages without any medical explanation. And I chase a lot of support from the women that have gone through the same pain. And I soon realized that this is a very dark taboo, and women are still suffering in silence. So soon I have this urge to follow a path of service for two reasons. First one is really to speak up and turn some topics talkable. And as well, the second reason, it was a survival need so that I could repurpose my pain. Also linked with Portugal and Brazil, a big driver of my healing was based on sacred feminine rituals. So I reconnected with my feminine energy, and this was so important in my journey and awakening as a woman. So this was really, it's in the core and in the heart of my healing.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. It's really a huge layer of on my journey. Yes, Shruts.
Sorry, what kind of topics were you talking about?
I am talking about, okay.
The untalkable topics to be made
Yeah.
talkable.
Yeah,
Woo!
exactly.
I really want to know.
No, it's okay. So the first one is for sure infertility. So it's really a huge pain, not only for women, because there is not only a huge pressure from society and this history itself for women to conceive for whatever reason. And if we do not do that, then it feels we are not worthy to be present in this life.
Oh my God.
Really
Yeah.
huge. It's a huge weight. And not only that, but
Yeah.
if we do not have that and we do not have a career, then it's even worse in terms of being able to navigate life through this.
Yeah.
And also the superwoman myth that woman
Oh,
needs to have
yes.
it all.
Yes.
And this is something we really need to address. And even, for
So
instance, women
powerful.
that
My
choose a
God.
career over family, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris, I love that you said that, babe, because a woman that's, and we've touched base on this, but a woman that is putting her career 100% does not mean that she's taking away from her family, but it also means that that's how she wants to give love to her child or her children, is through her financial stability, her wellness. And to me, if that's her choice, she should be allowed and not judged for how she wants to express her love to her family.
Yeah.
and balance it and teach your
Mm-hmm.
family the
And
things.
balance, yeah.
So
Because
important.
I really love your POV, Chris, when you talked about healing and coming back to the sacred feminine and how, you've incorporated it into healing, the healing space. And you've also mentioned your 20 years of being in the corporate, and the things that, we don't talk about. And it's a lot because I have been in the healing space myself and I have been in the corporate world myself. There's so many things that we as women are forced to adapt in a man's world.
Yeah,
And because it's been labeled somehow, it's a man's world, we are forced to adapt to certain changes that suit do not suit us. And
Mm-hmm.
so how do we find our way and how do we remain in our authenticity is it's through these practices of sacred femininity and going
feminine.
back
Yeah,
to yeah, and going back to the sacred woman um
yeah,
values. So I
Roots.
really
Right.
like that, going back to the roots. And I'm really looking forward to learn more from you and just like incorporate all this in the healing space. Oh, wow.
To help, really, from the bottom of
yeah,
my heart.
I love that, Chris, too, and Cindy, because I feel like there's a lot of single mothers as well, right? Because of our men or a spouse or partner has not shown up, right? There's an
yeah, yeah,
imbalance of masculine and feminine,
yeah,
and
yeah,
women as well. And like the thing is like single mothers, they have to lead with their masculine energy, right? So that they're able to
Correct.
provide that wellness, that
absolutely.
that wealth, right? That financial stability. So teaching and talking about those things, I love that, Cindy and Chris, because I feel like sometimes we don't have a choice as a single mother to come and to, balance that home
Yeah, yeah,
financial.
Yeah, and not only in that container, but in corporate world, as Cindy was saying. And it's quite recent, the emerge of women in leadership so strongly.
oof,
Mm,
Feels like we
and
need like
how?
assume a more masculine layer so
mm,
that our leadership
Yeah.
style can be accepted. And again, this is really changing, but
mm,
we are still really pushing the barriers to be feminine and still lead with grit and
Hmm.
resilience. And about going back to basics, and it's also a point that aligns with my journey, because when I was younger, until 25 years more or less, I worship Iemanjá, which is the great mother of the seas. She represents all the water elements, like the woman's mystery, the moon, and the moon is very special to me, the child protection. And I don't and
Wow,
know for what reason I have disconnected from my connection with the divine. And now, almost 20 years after, I'm going back to my roots to heal myself
wow,
and reconnect again with the divine. So, to say
uh,
that we
beautiful.
always need to come back to our true self and
mm,
to remove what is not we, our personal human being, our soul. So, this is always going back to basics. It's how I envision. And
mm,
That's
about the podcast,
beautiful.
what I envision is precisely to have women speaking up without
mm,
feelings of fear, guilt, and
Yeah,
shame.
yeah,
I
yeah,
want also to bring back Brazilian Portugal heritage of Christianism, Templar sacred feminine that I'm so passionate about.
yes.
Wow.
And I
You
also,
know,
yes, come.
here, I think, when we girls are talking about women and women empowerment and everything, we will also discuss about men, right?
Mm,
There are so
Right.
many men out there who are coming into their own now. They're
mm,
unlearning, they're having men circles, they're having
Hmm.
men healing sessions, and they really want to learn.
And we
So,
need to help each other.
Yeah.
absolutely,
What would be my
absolutely.
Mm.
point was precisely that I'm not a feminist on the
Of
vision that
course,
usually it's spoken
absolutely,
about. And I
absolutely,
see a man as a critical balance, the male energy,
absolutely,
in a woman's
absolutely.
awakening journey. So this is really like yin yang, the balance of the nature, to things go smoothly towards the best direction. And I also see,
Perfect.
that I'm quite sometimes funny. So I envision
You are, girl.
a lot of fun, a lot of knowledge, safe
yeah.
space, and we are open to learn with each other and also to bring back the best energy to our audience. It's how I envision the podcast.
I love it, Chris.
Love
And
it.
my love, like, listen, we do need man. And back to
Yeah,
feminism, like, that's really hitting home for me, because I feel like I've seen feminist women bashed on men, but we need our men, and
Yeah.
yeah,
we
yeah.
need to support and
Absolutely.
guide the same way that they need to create a safe space for us, right, as
Correct.
feminine beings.
Correct.
So I love to hear that, because
Yeah.
these men are fathers, right? They're fathers, they're husbands, they're, they have titles that they have to live
They
by.
are
And
Yeah.
lovers.
exactly, and generational,
Yeah.
the thing is it
And the responsibility of a full-time provider.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so
So
painful on them,
So
the burden of it.
as well,
Yeah, yeah.
sense of protection is really a huge layer for the woman's safety, right?
exactly. Yeah,
Hmm.
I love that, my love. Well, I'm Jenny Ferrante Gonzalez, and I'm from Caguas, Puerto Rico, and I was raised in Worcester, Massachusetts. I was raised Catholic, and a typical Puerto Rican home. My mom was a single mother, so of three children, and she gave us so much. She provided, and she had to be so much different roles, and
Mm.
that made me who I am today, and really the reason that I really became a guide or a coach or whatever you want to call me, a healer, energy healer, whatever it is, was because I
Jenny,
wanted to, yeah, baby.
what, and because again, we are all about energies, but what
Mhm.
exactly energy represents to you?
Energy,
Yeah. What if energy?
I love
Mm.
that. So thanks, my love. So what energy really means to me is how you behave, how you want to project your light, right? Your vibration out, your
Your
frequency
light. I
through the
love that.
Wow.
and when your
Mm.
light to me is very dimmed because of things, maybe traumas, inherited traumas, things you've been through,
Mm-hmm.
limited beliefs, all these things, it can cause your light to kind of like keep dimming. And before
Yeah.
you know it, you
Mm.
Yeah,
lack
yeah,
of
for
hope,
sure.
lack of faith. And so to me, energy is your vibration, like
Yeah.
your frequency. And
Yeah.
how, how you go into like a restaurant, or like you go and you kind of get like, oh, I love this vibe. Like everybody's happy here. Everybody,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that's a sixth sense. That's a spiritual.
Intuition, right?
Mhm. And we all have that. And so to me, energy is super important, and how want to create a safe space for maybe your family, like we talked about masculine and feminine, or a nurturing, and everybody has these things. So to me, energy is that vibration, and how we can really change our behaviors and change and
Yeah.
kind of unclutter the things within ourselves, so that we're able to create a different frequency.
That's
Yeah, that's
thank
Mm-hmm.
you for loving
good.
our energy is
Yeah.
why we're all here
Thank
together.
you. And thank you. That, I mean, Jenny, I really love what you said, because it brings back to the point of, you see how we're so distorted these days. And there's just a lot of dark energies, but you have focused specifically on light, which
Mm,
brings us back to the point that we are all light. We just
mm,
have to, we need to help each other, and we need to enhance each other. And I'm so
mhm.
I'm so happy to be, part of this group, and part of your journey, and part of
Yeah.
your purpose. Such a beautiful purpose.
Yeah, and
Yes.
I would just raise a challenge to our audience as well, because recurrently energy feels like a woo-woo thing, and
Mm,
there is
Mm.
the vision of, let's say, physical energy, emotional energy, spiritual energy, but in fact, it's not separated things. Indeed, there is a more physical energy that is explainable, but it
yeah.
does not mean that now we do not have researches confirming
Yeah.
that
Mm-hmm.
the other energy is connected.
Exactly.
100%. And we do have that, even in the medical field, in healing. It's 100%, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the thing is that now there's starting to be a new world, right? A new era of physical and spiritual, and how scientists, so if you want to talk about facts, Chris, as well, like scientists are connecting, hey, why is our mind, why is our brain wired a specific way? Okay,
Yeah.
well, now let's work with a guru, or now let's work with a spiritual,
Mm-hmm.
to kind of combine, because in reality, doesn't it not make sense? We are mind, body, and spirit.
Yeah.
It's all connected.
Absolutely.
We're all one. So they're finding now so much more answers to things. I mean, and how we store negative energy in our body, and it causes diseases and all these different things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So for me, I became a guide because I was broken. Like, and
Yeah.
even though I knew I was a good person and I knew I wanted, but I never knew how to, I questioned myself, and I had so much broken things from traumas, inherited traumas, so much things that I needed to clutter all that shit out. And I said, well,
Mm.
how can I heal myself so that I can heal the world as well?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I did a lot of shadow work. I did a lot of the behind the scenes. And I see time and time again in our industry, especially, that, people are, inspire, inspirational influencers, coaches, and that's amazing, but they're not doing the shadow work. And what's happening there is, if that happens, you're not preaching what you sow, one, but also it's more like, honey, you're doing yourself a disservice, because you're not attached to your deep intuition, that source, because we need to unclutter these things. So to me, I
Mm.
wanted to be an inspiration, preach what I sow. I wanted to shine the brightest I can to help spread kindness, love, and speak truth. And sometimes truth is definitely not something you want to hear. Sometimes the truth hurts, right?
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
you want to kind of ignore and suppress.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, I really wanted to be assertive through this, coming from a place of, this is the truth, but also setting those boundaries with other people and showing people how you want them to treat you. And
Right.
setting boundaries for me was super important, because I was a people pleaser. I said yes to everything. And even
Me too.
around me. Yeah.
I get that. I get that.
Yeah. And it just, enough was enough.
Yeah.
I was giving things to other people that I should not have
Yeah.
been giving,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
and
And
it,
taking shit in return.
mm-hmm,
It's not just giving, it's
Yeah.
also getting so much. The
yeah,
energy that you were speaking about, there's so much negative energy that comes when you're people pleasing,
mm-hmm.
right? Because these are the people you don't want to please.
You need to protect your peace. Yeah, it's one of the big learnings we take in our awakening.
So
And I'm a
important.
Pisces, and we wear our heart on our sleeves, and I'm
Yeah.
very emotional, and I just never was taught to protect my energy. And
I
I
know.
think this is something I'm so passionate about, because I've seen the damage that it gave me. And I know a lot of other people are, they're struggling with this as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's really
Yeah.
why I became a guide, a coach.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that, again, that led me to depression. I felt stuck, I felt lost, I didn't feel like a sense of purpose, and I know that's something that I want to help people uncover.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
um
You've helped us with that, Jenny.
Thank
In
you.
so many ways. In so many ways, baby.
and
Really.
and and like, the reason Puerto Rico has so much to offer,
Mm.
and in Puerto Rico there's so much ancestors, so much wisdom there,
I I
so
want to know so much. I
Yeah.
want to know so much because
Oh,
it's so. I know a little bit about it, like how you know about India, very little bit,
Mhm.
and there's so much more to uncover. There's so
yeah.
much I want to know about Puerto Rico. It's all of us, in fact, Portugal,
And I
Africa.
yeah,
Oof,
and I don't know all
crazy.
either. And this is something on this podcast I want to, like,
Yeah,
there's so much wisdom lost. There's
yeah,
so much
so
knowledge
much.
lost.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
And I want to bring these cultures back. I think that we should, like, combine modernness with our history. You know what I mean? And kind of
correct. Absolutely, my
And
love.
it doesn't
Absolutely.
mean we are like final products. And just to break the myths as well, we are in our own healing. We are never a final product. As
It's
coaches and
correct.
as healers, we are always growing. We are grabbing more knowledge. And sometimes we might not know exactly the foundations, but we will search, we will make the investigation we need, and we will share those insights with everyone. So it's our commitment.
Absolutely.
exactly.
Absolutely.
And for
Absolutely.
this podcast, I wanted to unify, like the fucking Avengers. Like, I want to unify together. I don't care what religion you are. I don't care if you
Yeah.
believe in a creator, Holy Spirit. I don't care if you believe in God or Buddhist, or, I don't care. I want this
Or an
to,
atheist also.
or
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
exactly, it
Doesn't
doesn't
matter.
matter. I want this
Doesn't matter.
podcast to be a unity being, because that's
Totally.
what God truly wants.
Yeah.
That's what
Totally.
I don't care about if you do witchcraft or whatever. Are you a good person? Period. Are you a good person? Are you leading with love and light? Are you leading with, I don't care about your title. I care about, are you deeply have good intuitions? Are
Yeah.
you cleansed? Are you healed? That is what I
Yeah.
care
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Love
feel
it.
like we're so divided in these things because of it. And I that's what I want. That's what I truly want for this podcast.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it, Jenny. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, it was my part, okay? Thank you, girls. I love you. I love being here.
We love you.
We love to have.
Yeah, yeah. So I am Cindy. Dr. Cindy. I'm a medical doctor, born and raised at the heart of East Africa. I'm from Tanzania, from Africa. I love my land. I love my culture. I love my people. I love being black. We are.
Yeah, baby.
I love it. It's my heritage. I love being connected. I love being connected to my roots. I take a lot of pride and joy from where I come from, the diversity of cultures that we have around, the richness of history and everything that comes with it. Uh, the reason why I became a coach was it stems from my purpose and my journey as a medical doctor. I have always believed ever since I was young that I am born to help people, and I'm born to not just help people but to bring out the best in people. And for me at that time, the best way that I could make sense out of things was to be a medical doctor, because what a better way of understanding a human being by learning medicine. So that was what was going on at the back of my head. But fast
Wow.
forward, after graduating and being thrown out in the real world, came so many questions. What makes us who we are? What makes us heal people? Not apart from the diagnostics, who are we really? So the curiosity really made me who I am today. And I'm really grateful to stumble upon coaching, because I realized even through my journey and my purpose as as a medical doctor, the thing that we do is to coach people through better lifestyle, better living, not just diagnostics and just drugs. You want to see that person better and you support them throughout the way. And so coaching became a very complementary part of my journey, and it became a very complementary part, not just in my journey but also in what I do and what I do for the people. And it's something that gives me a lot of value and a lot of purpose, and in service as well. So I'm very passionate with service. I'm very passionate about human beings. I'm very passionate about the art of connectedness and the art of remaining curious and
Wow.
remaining staying connected in what we truly are. And my soul journey and purpose in this journey of life, and also this podcast, is to understand the life beyond healing, and to take part of and to take part in healing in different ways. And I feel so fortunate to have connected with you women, because we are serving the same purpose of healing through energy work, through relationship, through connectedness, through being connected to the divine, because that is a very that's I feel like that's the core aspect of who we are. And so my vision for this podcast is to bring people together, and to harness the power of connectedness to our
Wow.
roots, knowing that our roots come from the Creator Himself, being connected to the divine. And I believe that we have power to heal ourselves, but we cannot heal ourselves if we do not know ourselves, and if we're not connected to our roots, and if we're not connected to where we come from. Um,
Wow.
yeah.
Yes, my Cindy, my love. When you say roots, and this is something I know that I want you to touch base on, because like in Puerto Rico, there's so much medicine from the earth, so much nutrition, but also there's so much medicine coming from. There's so much rich plants and fruits and all these things. Like, I want to know more about when you say roots. Like, what does that mean to you, my love?
Hmm. So for me, roots, it means a lot, but for starters, the most important part is connecting to self and
Mm,
connecting to the divine and connecting to that deep purpose. Because
Yeah.
in my journey, I have noticed, and I have noticed miracles and have taken part in miracles, in things that even the medical world could not explain.
mm,
And I came to know that there is a higher power that
mm,
connects us, that connects all the dots, that bring us to who we are. And some of this power has been revealed through different codes of the earth,
mm,
through food, through herbs, through
Herbs,
how
yeah.
we connect to each other, like even just the art of remaining happy and remaining grounded through love and unity. That in itself is so much healing. And these are the things that we forget to
yes.
incorporate in our
So true.
healing. Or maybe we know of them, but we don't talk about
Yeah.
them as much. So
Mm,
roots could mean so many things, from connecting with self and the divine. Roots could mean, a food, it could mean our cultures, it could mean a way of life and lifestyle in general.
I
Wow.
love it for you. I
Yeah,
love
it's beautiful.
So
And also,
that's how it works even in India. Like when you talk about Ayurveda, India is supposed to be like the first country, in the
it.
world to have come up with medicines which
Mm-hmm.
were from the earth, the
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
herbs that you were talking
Yeah,
about.
you guys are the OG. You're the OG. It came from
Yeah,
India.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
In Puerto Rico, Cindy, I love that you said like about, that you love being black, you love being African. And I totally relate that because Puerto Ricanos are Tainos, Native Americans, African, and also Spanish. We're all like that mixing pot. So
wow.
we have dances in Puerto Rico that celebrate our African side. So I totally
Hmm.
right with that because it's such a strong, all of our cultures are so strong, and you feel that like in your
But
sangre,
you
in
know,
your
Jenny, I want to say something here. You know, I'm so proud of Cindy when she said I'm so proud that I'm black
mm,
because as an Indian woman, Cindy
mm,
baby, since we were young, if you're not fair skin, it was
mm,
not okay.
mm,
It was frowned upon. There's so much. There used to be so much racism in India
mm,
around color that there was a point when I remember when I was young, my parents used to tell me, "Don't go out in the sun; you'll get dark. Nobody will
yeah.
marry you."
And we were just speaking
But
about
I'm
that
so
roots.
proud of you, Cindy.
Yeah,
I'm
be
so
proud.
proud of you for owning it, man. It
Yeah,
took me 40 years to
yeah.
finally accept,
And
okay,
again,
brown is
it's
sexy.
cultural. It's cultural because, and we were discussing these roots like India and not Africa globally, but there are some, I'm not say some stigma, but then there is at least Portugal, Brazil, we really like it tan the most. So it's
mm.
precisely the opposite.
Grass is always greener on the other side. Yeah.
I want to add on to that because in Puerto Rico cultures, there's a division. So if you are not born, so there's like a lot of things, internal cultural wars, Shruti, in Puerto Rico culture,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
if you were raised or born in America, you're not considered Puerto Rican, and
yeah,
it's just something that I want to break because
yeah.
to me,
Mm.
culture is something you practice. It's a ritual. It's
Yes.
passed down. You could be in Japan, you could be in India, you could be wherever it is. You are
Wow.
still Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
It's in your blood, it's in your sangre. So breaking that, and also like I resonate so much with that, and coming from a place of being proud to being Latina, being proud to show that you have something to offer the world. We're so Puerto Ricans are very celebrate. We celebrate everything. We celebrate life, and I think it's time
Mm.
for our cultures to bring that back, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I would
Mm.
also just complement one thing that Jenny, you were saying about like being fragmented and trying to become one, because we are all one, right, in terms of consciousness.
Yeah.
But I would like also to raise one thing, because here we are representing different continents, but we have Pangaea in our roots. I don't know if you know Pangaea. It was
No, what does
Yeah.
it
Is it
mean?
like the whole globe and then like it split into two and the
previously,
continents?
previously it was only one continent in the
Yeah.
world.
Oh, I didn't know it's called Pangea.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah,
So let's bring Pangaea back,
it was called
even
either.
with the diversity of our roots and our cultures.
Oh, wow.
I love
I
that.
love that. Wow. I
That's
love that a
beautiful.
lot because like that's my vision for this podcast, like harnessing the power of connectedness through knowledge. You know, because at the end of the day, I believe that being connected is
Yeah,
healing. So let's
yeah.
bring back Pangea.
Bring back Pangaea.
And
And
I'll go learn some geography, bitches.
girl, I didn't know either, so I'm gonna be learning
I
with you
love
because
you,
I didn't know.
Cindy. Ooh,
Ooh, I like that. Ooh.
absolutely.
Cindy, there was something that you said, or like, and then like we were talking about this on the side, like people know these things, but they don't understand. Can you please talk on that? Because that was such a powerful thing that you said. Because I really feel like there's so much education, there's so much knowledge right in our fingertips on our phones, but people are just truly not like processing.
Yeah, and in fact, I have made some years ago a study about, it was for the university, about Pangaea, and it was social studies, etc. And I can also bring back, so that research is halfway.
No, that is why I'm not gonna go and Google, because that's why I have you girls here to teach
Yes.
me what I don't
Exactly.
know.
For that, I love that. Because again, we were
That's
at
what we're gonna do here. I
yeah,
Yeah.
love
a
it.
certain period of time, we were at home, all of us in the same continent, Pangaea. So let's honor back this, even if we are now in separated countries.
Yes.
Cindy,
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think you guys answered Jenny. Knowledge and understanding. And I think even in spiritual books, it writes that, there's a lot of knowledge, but in every kind of knowledge that you search for, seek understanding. And understanding is understanding is that rooted wisdom that is there in all creation. Like I believe everything that is ever created has its own form of wisdom. The earth has its own form of wisdom. We human beings, we have our own form of wisdom. Even the cells in our bodies have its own different of wisdom. The DNAs have its own kind of wisdom. So without understanding, and the key thing to unlock the understanding is first of all understand the wisdom that is inside you in itself, because you
absolutely.
cannot communicate. Yeah, you cannot communicate. Wisdom understands wisdom. So
Whoa.
Yeah, cheers to
wisdom,
that, Dr. Cindy.
yeah. Yeah, so it's only when we get to understand who we really are, then we can get to understand the wisdom that lies in things. Like, ever wondered why some people do things so well even without education? Like maybe like if it's business, even without maybe going to school, it's because they have understood the wisdom in the art of what they're doing, whether it's,
Yeah.
whatever business that we're doing. I'm going in the tangent right now, but what I mean, Jenny, to answer your question is, with a lot of knowledge around, understanding is the key part. And what a better way to understand, but understand ourselves in the creator who created us.
Wow.
And I love that, Cindy, because to me, like knowing is one thing, like you said, but to me, it's also a sense of gratitude. Like you know how you tell a kid, like, oh, go clean your room, and they're like, why? It's like knowing the why a behavior or
Exactly.
a practice or a ritual is in place so that you can cleanse or heal or do, you know what I mean? So like I think coming from
Mm,
a place of understanding also comes from a deep gratitude, but a deep like why am I, what's the purpose
Yeah,
behind
mm,
this?
yeah,
Not
yeah.
to
Purpose.
just
It's Good word, yeah. Purpose is for sure one of the drivers to really push towards understanding.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. Now, for all of our followers, for all of our listeners, thank you guys so much. We love to hear your thoughts on this. This is just a sneak peek of what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking
Yeah.
about feminism, masculine, breaking generational curses, inherited traumas. I mean, relationships. Doctor,
Healing.
yeah, healing. Dr. Sydney. We're talking about connection here.
Old
So
cultures,
yes, four
bringing them.
cultures truly coming together, and four cultures, and it can be done because look at who we are right now. We all have different beliefs, but yet we are all one, and we all love each other for who we are.
Love.
And that's how we change the world, babe. So we'd love to hear the topics that you guys are wanting. Comment, share, subscribe, so that you guys can really hear, and so that we could be here to serve you.
Yeah.
It's also a safe space. So that's which, and this is for our
So
followers, that which,
important.
yes, that which you feel like you can't echo it through us, because we embody that. We embody unity, and we embody a space for you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we are
And
not
we're ready
coming
to
from a
learn with
place.
you.
Yeah, we are not coming
Yeah.
from a place of judgment, which is also a very. We are coming from a place of knowledge and love. We want really to share. We are not final products again, but we are really committed
I
to,
love that.
yeah, to bring our best selves to all of you.
And
Absolutely.
we will speak our truth for
Mm.
sure. Very
Mhm.
important.
Very important. And we don't know it all. We're going to do research. This is something that if you guys are very expertise on a specific topic, please like let us know,
Yeah.
so that we're able to enhance that, and come from a place of understanding.
Oh, I love that.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe, click on the bell icon, and stay tuned for more rooted conversations. See you soon.